If you are at a point in your life where you know you cannot waste any more time, then I want to talk to you today. And let's just suppose this is just me and you, and we're having a conversation directly with one another. Okay? That's how intentional I want to be about this conversation. When we're young, we don't necessarily have a clear time perception. In other words, we don't necessarily realize how short life is. But as we get a little older and we live some life, we start to realize that time is precious and the time is not something to be wasted. Okay. And you've probably still got some great quality years ahead of you. And that's why it's so important for you not to waste the time that you have. So let me just start, as I always do, by telling everyone that I'm Mark Johnson. I'm the founder of BouncePep, bringing you a fit and flourishing future. I'm also the youngest son of Bill Johnson. Of course, I welcome you to subscribe. Okay, subscribe to this channel. Keep yourself in the loop. Another way that you can keep yourself in the loop, a little bit more effort, but I appreciate it if you go to www.bouncepep.com and just scroll down to the bottom of the homepage and subscribe to our email list. We will not bombard you with a bunch of spam emails, so don't worry about that. But we will try to keep you in the loop because we occasionally will send messages and sometimes promotions that can help you level up your life. Now, with all that said, let's get back to the real conversation. Look, life is going to pass by whether or not you are basically standing still, wasting time or not. Okay? The time is going to pass. Okay? And at some point, you run your course and your life ends and the next generation will come along and pick up the baton. But while you were here, it is very, very important that you do not waste your time. And I want to talk to you today about one of the biggest time wasters that I see. And this is it's so common and so many people don't realize how pernicious it is and how much it's holding them back. And so I just wanted to bring your attention to it so that you can be aware, okay, and then make adjustments and stop wasting your time. If you are trying to do something, if you are trying to build something, especially that is big and important and impactful, you cannot waste your time. So we're going to talk about what is that big time waster. Okay. And it's simpler than you think. That's the interesting thing is that it's not complicated, but people have a hard time getting over this. Okay. So what I have seen over and over and over again is that people are waiting to know more. They're waiting for the perfect time or the right time. But basically, people do not take the information and the knowledge and the motivation that they have and just move instead of just taking action and getting going and basically get the ball rolling. Take action, get the ball rolling. People will find a reason to not do anything, to procrastinate, to say, oh, I need more information. Oh, it's not the right time for this reason or for that reason. But people will basically manufacture reasons why they can't do what they need to do. And so my message to you today is very simple. Stop wasting time and do what you can do now. So what does this mean practically? How do you actually do this? Okay, because basically what I'm telling you is the follow through is the problem. Now, when I say the follow through is the problem, what exactly do I mean by that? What I mean is that most of what you need to know to take action, you actually probably already know it. I want you to think about this think about it. Just stick with me here and think about this. You ever seen people who, let me give you a great example from the world of fitness as usual. Now, everybody knows that if you want to get fit, for example, there are some basic things that you need to do. All right. You need to eat better food. So that means, a bunch of greasy bacon double cheeseburgers every day and sweet tea with every meal. And like all of those kinds of eating habits, you have to, put those aside and you have to eat better. You have to eat healthier food so that you're getting nutrients, you're getting what your body needs to perform at its best level so that you have great energy levels and you're able to do something else, which is go and exercise. So everybody knows that you need to eat well and you need to exercise in order to get into better shape, right? But what happens? How many people simply don't do it? They simply don't do it. This is not even rocket science. This is stuff that like everybody knows. You don't have to be a physician. You don't have to be a dietitian or anything. You don't have to be. You don't have to be any kind of a medical specialist or a personal trainer or anything to know this, right? But what happens is people just don't do it, and so the problem is not a lack of knowledge, or at least not a complete lack of knowledge, because people often know basically, like more or less, how to start. At least they know that much, and they just don't do it. So, how do you separate yourself, and how do you stop wasting your time? How do you separate yourself from all of the masses? I'm just being honest, who are just wasting their time and just not doing what they can do. Okay? Well, it's called following through. This is what's going to separate you. Follow through. And the bigger your aspiration is, the more important it is for you to get this through your head right now. You're never going to have perfect information. There's always more to know and there's always more to learn, right? There's always something else to worry about if you're a worrier. But those become stumbling blocks. Basically, they prevent you from taking action if you just get stuck there, waiting for more information, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for all of your worries to be answered. None of that may ever happen. So what if you're just a little bit smarter than you think you are? What if you actually know a little bit more than you think you do? You just lack the confidence to get going. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do to stop wasting time and do what you can do right now. So, the first thing is this: identify compelling reasons. Identify compelling reasons for doing what you want to do. These need to be reasons that penetrate your soul and drive you to action now. If what you want to do is really that important and is really that impactful, then you should be able to identify at least a few very compelling reasons to get going now. And the idea here is to create a sense of urgency. You have to have a sense of urgency. You have got to stop wasting time because everything that you want to go after is too important. It's too important. Okay. You got to start now. Now, the second thing that you can do is just decide. I'm amazed at how people don't realize how important a decision can be. Just Simply deciding. What is deciding? Deciding is saying that I'm going to do this. I'm not going to be worrying about that or all these other options and all these other obstacles or anything. I'm deciding to do this, whatever that is. Make a decision. Okay? Cut off the option of just basically procrastinating or waiting for more information, waiting for perfect circumstances. Just cut off that option and decide that you're going to do what you can do right now. The third and final thing is this: just start with the simplest thing that you can do right now and build momentum from there. I just talked to you about momentum a few days ago in the previous video that I released. And I talked about how important building momentum is. Okay. And it's so important that you start with the simplest thing that you can start with to get the ball rolling. Stop worrying about everything that can go wrong. Stop worrying about how hard it's going to be. Okay. Don't concern yourself with all of that stuff. Start with the simplest thing that you can do right now and get going. Okay. Your aspirations and your dreams and the potential impact that you can have on this world is too important for you to still be wasting time. And I'm talking to you again if you've got some years under your belt, okay, and you're aware that you don't have time to waste time anymore. So I hope this lights a fire and gets you to kind of pull yourself out of this stagnation. If it's fear, pull yourself out of this fear, build up some courage and give yourself those compelling reasons to get going now. Okay. So that's my message for you today. I know it wasn't a very long message, but it was something that I just really felt was it was a powerful message that needed to be delivered today for some reason. So that's why I'm sharing it with you. I want you to take this with you. I'll talk to you next time.